surveillance, cameras on street corners, secret police, internal checkpoints, torture. I mean, nobody puts it on paper but America. I mean, you just go right down the line. Big empire invading all these countries. I mean, it's just... Do what? Yeah, exactly. Control of education. It's all there.
It's absolutely clear. Education was full in the hand of the party in East Germany. Same as here at the end.
Obsessed with education, which really means brainwashing.
And to make them dependent, for example, when you have your retirement, there's a limit you can pay. You have to pay, and there's a limit. When you have more salary, 10%, but there was a limit for 600, so 60 mark. And this is the basis for your later retirement. The teacher, for example, he paid the same, but he got a special retirement only when they teach until the retirement, until they get retired. So when they get fired, they lose it. So they are
it's stealing your money.
Yes, and they are dependent because when they would go teach different things against the body, they would be fired as a teacher.
And then all that money you put in stolen.
And you lose it. And the army was different. I should, not now, it's over. You should have a higher retirement, but you had to pay for it. It was not a gift because you served the army. You had the right to pay more into your retirement account. So a lot of these steps, when you would work in a computer center, you must be checked by the Stasi. And when you criticize the party, the check will not be positive. You cannot go and work in a computer center, for example. So you are dependent.
And by the way, they announced this 8-9 years ago. I saw it on C-SPAN, but now it's started with the unions, who are the little communist. I'm not saying unions themselves are bad, but they've now become globalist tools. And Homeland Security, you have to get a background check to be able to get a job now in the unions. And Homeland Security, to fly, you have to pass a check. There's no judge, no jury, no conviction. It's a no-fly list. And it's all about being able to travel, being able to work. It's all up to Homeland Security. Is Homeland Security the U.S. Stasi? Is it becoming that?
It looks exactly like. I mean, when you see what Napolitano said, she said returning soldiers, veterans, are potential terrorists. They can fight for the country. When you are back, they are terrorists.
I say she is a terrorist, not even a potential one.
She is one, yes. Because this cannot be. Everything was actually made America grow big, and one of the best countries becomes now a criterion. You may be a terrorist when you do this.
Yeah, no, being a real American, what made the country great is now the enemy.
Yes, it's now
because
the enemy.
They're a bunch of globalist, corporate hired thugs to bring authoritarianism in. They're the enemy. I mean, it's so obvious. If Russians parachuted in and said George Washington is a pig, we'd say, no, you're the enemy. But because they speak like Americans, I mean, they actually have the manuals where they demonize the founding fathers. They're obviously the enemy.
Yes. I mean, take the no-fly list. You can be on a no-fly list and you have no idea you are on until you try to fly.
Yeah, no due process. Same thing of just disappearing.
It's exactly the same. You are on the airport, no, you cannot fly. For what? No one told me. When you criticize maybe the government or anyone, and this is your right to criticize them. You must not lie, but you can criticize them. When you do this, you are maybe in one list. And maybe you are automatically on the no-fly list, you don't know.
But I think you hit the key here. We're on the verge of tyranny. They've set up all these draconian things. They've put torture, secret arrest out like it's a good thing. They're trying to sell it, but they haven't implemented it all yet. They're just now starting. We've got to decry it. We've got to say no to it right now, or my God, it's going to be a horrible road.
Yeah. And this cannot be the Congress pass law or bills against the Constitution. They should know it. They took the oath to defend the Constitution, the oath in office. Everyone in the government did this. They ignored. And for my opinion, many of them have no idea what is in the Constitution written.
But from your experience in East Germany, Romania, Poland, tyranny will fall. No matter how much high-tech bull they've got, it's going to fall.
Finally, yes. But the point is here, the start was pretty good. Liberty, freedom, land of the free. And now it goes in the other direction. And I see no way back. Because the more you lose in the Constitution, the harder will it get to bring it back. When you lose it, it's gone. There's no way back. Try to reduce the government. I don't think so, because the government, the Congress and all of them, they will not vote for reduce the government. It must be reduced by the people, by the power of the people. And in Germany, it was changed by the people on the street.
And this has been a conscious move by the social engineers. They know that this tyranny comes in, the people are going to get mad, so they put in a repressive system. They're ready for that. I mean, it's so cold-blooded, it's so calculating, and to see the stuff we're putting in law, even North Korea doesn't put in law they can secretly arrest you and kill you. Only our government does it and hides it in plain view. I guess the bigger they are, the harder they fall, or the better they are when they turn to evil, the worse it is.
Yeah. And it can happen here because no one realizes. And it cannot be, I repeat it, it cannot be a law against the Constitution and will pass the Congress. This cannot be, and no one recognizes.
Well, that's my question. How can I have all these training manuals and videos where they sit there, FEMA, with a straight face and says freedom is bad, founders are bad, Ron Paul is bad, returning veterans are the enemy, because they know veterans may fight back against it. That's why. They know the military turned against Ceausescu and turned against East Germany and tried to turn against Hitler. They know. They know it was the Chinese military finally turned against Mao Zedong and his wife. So they know. That's why they're saying the military is the enemy.
And then 22 million veterans in the United States. That's a lot. And most of them have guns and can handle guns, of course. 22 million about. And I guess they are very well organized in groups, because this is normally an army, former army. So they are afraid about veterans. Therefore, veterans are categorized as terrorists. When you are a terrorist, they can lock up you, just put you away. Or can do anything,
and
use the army against you.
And everything else. Amazing. Any points you'd like to make before we end this interview? It's been amazing.
I really repeat, every American it's the duty of every American to read and understand the Constitution and watch what's going on in their daily life. It cannot be a patriot act, will be prized as a war on terrorism and it's the greatest we ever got and law. No, it is against the Constitution. And you can use it against you. This is the reason they have it. Yeah?
And you've lived it. You know it when you see it, and this is it.
And you can see it very clearly. I mean, I watch this because I'm 13 years here now, but it's still new for me. I'm not a born American. Yeah?
But have you seen the U.S. change a lot in 13 years?
Yes, a lot. A lot. Try to fly. Compare this with the time 13 years ago. Completely different. You can just go in.
Well, you said on the radio that you guys didn't have checkpoints except on the border in East Germany. You said the East Germans, in your own words, would never put up with it being groped.
No, never.
There would have been a revolt in East Germany. Americans put up with stuff East Germans wouldn't have put up with. Who went through a war, the whole country being bombed, the Soviets coming in and taking over, re-education, and you wouldn't put up with it. But we put up with it. Because we're free, so this must not be tyranny.
This cannot be. I mean, there's liberty, there's freedom. And you cannot exchange the liberty for freedom. You will have nothing.
Well, they always say, we're taking your rights to keep you safe.
No, this cannot be. When you lose any right, they take right from you away to make you safe, something is wrong. Something is absolutely wrong.
Well, and like you said, the police officer was interested in your shirt at a gun show. You finally said, what's the problem? And he said, well, I don't want to be on a list. He wanted to say hi to you, but he's scared. He knows he's living in a tyranny.
Yes, he knows it. He's afraid. Therefore, he said, I don't want
Well, you bet he's afraid. They have brainwashing sessions where they, I've got video, it's Road to Tyranny. They say George Washington, Thomas Jefferson is bad. I
know this.
but even when I was sent the tape by the firefighter that was at the meeting, I couldn't believe it. And then I got the manuals. I mean, imagine with a straight face. George Washington is evil. Thomas Jefferson is evil. People that want freedom are bad. And I got new documents this week where they teach them. People that think the government's becoming illegitimate, they are terrorists. I mean, it's like, that's the enemy. When somebody shows up and says freedom is bad, that's the bad guy.
Yes, this should be, but everyone is afraid. Most are afraid to tell the truth.
So we've got to have courage.
Yeah, you have to have.
Gunter Spens, thank you so much. Is there any way if folks want to contact you, they can get in touch with you?
Oh, yes. Via Oathkeeper, for example.
All right, great. Thank you so much. I'm going to say bye to folks, and I'll say bye to you before you go back to Dallas. Ladies and gentlemen, that was an amazing interview, and I hope you get it out to everybody. The language barrier, of course, there, I think we breached it and got the information over to you. I've studied East Germany. I've studied it all. What they've got on the books here in the U.S. is never before been done. Most tyrants, in fact, all tyrants, pay lip service to freedom and things. This system doesn't even do that, and we're all in grave danger. Now, that's it for this Thursday edition of INFOWARS Nightly News. I want to say great job to the crew, and I want to thank all of you that are PrisonPlanet.tv subscribers. Until the end of the year, we're running the special we've been running for 8 years of 44% off on the yearly membership. If you sign up in the month of December, you pay for 6.7 months, you get 5.3 months free. And we also have another deal. We can get all the DVDs and the membership for a year, $29.95 for the membership and $100 for the 18 films. And you can still order all the films until Sunday night. And the Alex Everything Special, which is $99.95, 70% off, and get them all delivered to you before Christmas. So get 18 Christmas gifts at one time and support our operation and get tools to help wake others up at Infowars.com on the online video bookstore shopping cart. But again, that is it for this edition. Please get this interview with Gunter Spens out to everybody you know. And hopefully if people discover the fact that we're going into deep tyranny, we can reverse this quickly. But the bottom line is police and military are key to contact. Most of them are already awake now, but are scared. Well, what is the point of being a man or a woman and being scared of losing your job or your pension if you speak out? You're not in America anymore. That's the total proof right there of this buffaloing, this intimidation, this cowing that we've gone under. And it is a spirit of defeatism. It is a spirit of enslavement. And it's not the spirit that our founding fathers showed. It's not the spirit that Gunter Spens showed when he was part of the first group to stand down as a lieutenant colonel and not machine gun men, women, and children trying to get out of a communist system that was collapsing. All over the country, they trained the military to fire on citizens. Now that's admitted. I told you back when it was secret. The bankers think they're going to implode this country and conquer it financially and have paramilitary police and military suppress the public. But it's not going to work because we're aware of them. We got the jump on them, and we've been warning people, myself for 17 years. And now, because we planted all those seeds, as we saw the creeping authoritarianism, now that it's galloping and racing, people are listening because we got the jump on them. Thanks to you Info Warriors, a lot of you that have been with us for years. Just got chills. I tell you, this is grueling work, but it's all worth it at the end of the day, in the final equation, in the final sum, because we are making history for the side of good. And believe it, we're going to defeat tyranny in this round, and our ancestors are proud of us, and our progeny to come will look back on what we do today as a model to fight the tyranny of their time. This is an eternal battle against evil, my friends. That's it for this edition of InfoWars Nightly News. God willing, we'll see you back tomorrow, Friday night, the 16th of December, 2011, as we get ready to wrap up 2011. Incredible.